always think you take a chain link, a chain splitter if you need to, a little bit of lube. Obviously tyre stuff, not that sort of lube, Steve.
Nothing happened up there. Between me and that sheep, all right?
So yeah, totally lost my chain of thought.
I don't know why that is. Hi, welcome to Going Along with Cycling Weekly, the cycling podcast about all things ultra, bikepacking and adventure riding. My name is Steve Shrubsall, I'm your host, and today I'm with Mr. Daniel Baines. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
James is on holiday at the moment, sunning himself in Lake Garda. Pretty deserved though. He covered quite a lot of racing this year. Actually, July he was over in France for the most part, looking at the Tour de France. Dan, what do you think? I mean, not particularly ultra or bikepacking or in adventure riding related, but this year's Tour. What do you reckon of it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite, despite I think Pogacar going in there as all-round favourite and winning it, I still thought it was quite exciting. Certainly the first half of it. I think, a lot of, Van der Poel's always good to watch.
He was incredible, wasn't he? In the first week until he got injured.
Yeah, it's a shame Van Aert didn't really do anything until the last stage. I say didn't do anything. I'm sure he did a lot of things that I didn't see on the TV. But,
he put in a lot of donkey work early doors, didn't he, on the mountain stages?
You sort of want to see a lot of battles within a race going on, don't you? And in some ways, I thought it was kind of nice that there weren't all the sort of sprinter stages. And I know that's kind of going to be quite a controversial thing to say, but watching it on the TV, 200 kilometres of not a lot happening until the last sort of 3K, I can see that's a little bit boring.
I mean, I think the reason we bring up the Tour as well, it is an endurance sport. Yeah. I don't think we'd call it ultra endurance, but I think the longest stage on this year's Tour is about 220K or something like that, which is 160 miles or something.
Yeah, 150.
So I mean, riding, 3 weeks, that sort of mileage it's pretty hard work, obviously, and they're riding at speed. They're emptying themselves every day. But I was following the Via race, an ultra race that started in southern Italy and runs up into Holland, which is 4,000K. And it just doesn't compare. I mean, the ultra racing side is just next level. It's just, I think, obviously, Tour riders, they're, I don't know, maybe fitter. But from a mental standpoint, I think, these guys completing races like Via or TCR, Transcontinental, there's a different mindset going on there because, you've got to be riding sort of 250 miles a day and then sleeping somewhere, not for very long, and then getting up and doing it again, for 2 weeks. So, I think that's one of the reasons that, I love adventure riding and bikepacking and ultra riding is because you've really got to sort of mine deep into every part of your being to be able to complete these things.
Yeah, I don't think we can say one is harder than the other. They're just different, aren't they? I think you since I've been doing kind of the longer rides, I think you sort of get a respect for, it's completely different, but to be totally self-sufficient over that amount of time, you haven't got a team around you looking after you. You haven't got, people sort of giving you massages and giving you bottles. It's all mentally, like the long stuff is very hard. I think obviously physically it is as well, but in some ways I think it's maybe so much of it is a mental aspect with the long stuff.
Yeah. And keeping your body like in the condition to keep moving.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly hard. As some of our rides have demonstrated, it's easy to overlook one thing in favour of another. Then, if things don't all sort of, if stars don't all align, or you haven't sort of put, things into place for these stars to align, you can just, scratch, as they say, or DNF. So James isn't with us this week. So he's like obviously in Italy doing nothing, sitting by a swimming pool. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I was doing that last week. I can vouch for it.
Yeah. Anyway, back into the world of ultra cycling, away from swimming pools and back into ultra cycling or adventure riding or bike packing. Today, we are going to talk about the A to Z of ultra and adventure and bike packing. So both myself and Dan have got lists from A to Z, and we are going to talk about
our A to Z, yeah.
We're going to talk about our A to Zs. So, Dan, A, what have you got, my friend?
I started off with aero, comfort and weight, but then I thought probably all-nighters probably is a bit more, I don't know, in keeping with it. Obviously, aero, comfort and weight is a big part of it, but an all-nighter, it's, it is...
It's a rite of passage.
Yes, yeah.
For an ultra rider.
Yeah. And I think it's an unknown for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's,
for me, probably my favorite thing about long distance riding, just riding into a sunset, putting your head down, going through the night, making it through the wee hours, your doubts are creeping in at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's still a couple of hours left before the sun rises. But then, seeing that sort of haze in the sky turn from black to sort of gradually sort of morphs into a sort of stippled sort of lighter effect. And then you see the sun sort of peak over a hill or over the horizon, and just pure elation.
I think for me, I've always liked riding in the dark, but I think what I like doing it on an ultra is, in some ways, you're not sort of constantly reminded of how slow you're going because you are just concentrating on that little patch of light. And it looks quite quick. You've got the grass or whatever flying past quite quickly, and you can sort of convince yourself you're going quite quick when in effect you're probably not.
You look down at the speedometer and you're doing about 10 miles an hour. Honestly, it feels faster at night than it actually is. So you obviously ride slower at night. I think something happens in your brain that just goes, well, I can't see all around me, therefore I'm not going to ride as fast as I do during the day. But all-nighters, if you haven't done one, do one. Preferably I'd start in the summer. Doing an all-nighter in the deepest, darkest midwinter might hurt.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at what?
16 hours.
Sort of 4:30 in the afternoon to
8 o'clock.
7, 8 o'clock. So that's going to hurt. So tread gently.
Yeah, it is nice to see things as well during the day, to actually be able to look at a landscape. So yes, it should be a nice balance of both, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's no need to turn nocturnal.
No.
You don't have to start hanging around knocking about with badgers for a living, for your pastime. For B,
what have you got, Steve?
I have got bivvy.
Bivvy, yeah.
Why have I got bivvy? Because, well, that's like an essential piece of equipment.
It's a bit of a bailout for me. I know I have used it in the past, and I like kind of just sort of bedding down. I'm okay with that. I know some people aren't. But yeah, it's a bit of a peace of mind for me, just having that. And also, I've taken
it's a peace of mind for me as well, for you to have that. I'm really good at not preparing. Dan's really good at over preparing. So if I haven't got anything, it's sort of like, Dan,
yes,
can I borrow that?
Yeah,
and hopefully he's got 2 of those.
Yeah, well, not always, but Yeah, I think you're referring to that time when we had an impromptu sort of stopover in a wood, and
Yeah.
I had a space blanket which I threw in your direction, and I was in a bivvy on an inflatable mattress, and I managed to get an hour and a half sleep.
Yeah,
until
I was the bright spark who thought to go to the 24-hour garage and buy a disposable barbecue.
yeah,
And that was our heat for the evening.
yeah, lasted for about an hour.
Yeah, and one of those self-lighting logs.
Yeah,
That was a genius touch.
yeah, that was a good point. What would have been a very miserable night was just a miserable night.
Well, in times of desperation,
Yeah.
that's when you tend to pull your best tricks out the bag, and
You learn who
anyway,
you are.
yes. So but bivvy bags, that was a lesson learned for me. Bivvy bag, if you're going long, if you're going multi-day, if you're going overnight, pretty much it's essential. You got to keep warm.
Plus, it's a good excuse to buy more stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a good excuse to sleep as well.
Yes.
Because if you haven't got the sleeping stuff with you, you can, you're not going to sleep, are you?
No. Well, you're not going to sleep very well.
Yeah, I mean, I did have an issue with that. Riding through the night once when I didn't have any sleeping stuff with me, and I actually went to sleep on the bike, which was quite an interesting experience.
Yeah, well, I know where you fell asleep, and it was downhill, wasn't it?
That was one of the places. No, that was just like that was a sort of micro cat nap, like 5-second jobby. But I was cycling around the wilds of Kent, possibly in circles for, I don't know, it felt like an hour. I sort of just going about 3 miles an hour, just in and out of sleep. So if I'd had a bivvy with me, I would have used it. So B is for bivvy. Dan, C?
Calorific content. It's become one of those things now that I want to find the most calorific thing that you can sort of travel with. I think cheese is probably very good, but I wouldn't want to take it out because it'd probably get a bit sweaty and horrible.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, walnuts, 1,400 calories per 200 grams. It's not
Which
bad.
is very good.
Get a little bit sort of dry in your mouth after a while.
That is actually a huge amount of calories.
Yeah.
Nuts. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
But yeah, hear people eating, like you mentioned somebody eats honey.
Honey, yeah. I was speaking with, arguably the best ultra cyclist in the world, Bruno Vicht, who just won Veer and won the race through Poland and the unknown race. He's 3 for 3 this year.
Yeah.
He set off on his last race with a bunch of big gels. I think he had I can't remember, but they were sort of double the size of normal gels. And once he finished them, I think he took like 50 with him at the start. He started on the honey, which was 90 grams of carbs per 100 grams, which is pretty hefty.
Well, it travels well, doesn't it, honey?
Yeah, and he was just necking it straight out of a squeezy tube.
Yeah, I know. One of your favourites, ice cream topping, is it?
Oh yeah, the chocolate ice cream topping. It's incredibly calorific. I can't remember now. I've used it a couple of times, but again, it's a little bit too sickly.
Yeah, you can get too much of that stuff.
Dates really good. In terms of confectionery, Oreo bites are 600 grams of calories per 100 gram, so almost as good as walnuts. But walnuts,
well, nuts are just.
Where have they been all my life? Right, next time I know what to do. Yeah,
just don't have one go down the wrong hole like I did.
Oh yeah, you're coughing for an hour, weren't you? Yeah, a walnut coming out your nose. D. So that's C, calorific content.
Yes.
D for me is for dogs.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you don't want to get on the wrong side of a dog, do you?
In this country, they're not too bad.
No, they're not.
Well, they're generally on leads.
Not far from an owner.
Yeah, not far from an owner, yeah. But, I mean, I have been bitten by a collie.
Yeah.
Not a border collie? Yeah, a border collie. A sheepdog, basically. Who was trying to round me up while I was on my bike. You know, they do that, don't they?
Chasing the sheep, won't it, Steve?
Yeah, so he took a proper bite out of my leg. And obviously it hurt. I just said to the owner, I said, don't worry about it. stop apologising, it's happened. But has your dog had a rabies shot? I said, yeah, I went on.
Yeah.
If that wasn't in this country, you'd be panicking. You don't want to get bitten by a dog. So I've ridden my bike in lots of countries and been chased by many dogs.
Yeah.
It happens, you know, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
One of the best things you can do in that situation, if you meet a group of dogs, is to turn your bike around really fast and pedal back the other way. That is obviously, well, you know, probably the best course of action. But if not, pretend to pick something up from the floor. They know what that means because they've, you know, I think it's some sort of like muscle memory where somebody has obviously thrown rocks or stones or sticks at them in the past. So, yeah, that's my top tip for dogs. But otherwise, most dogs are nice, let's face it.
Yes.
But they can curtail the progress of an ultra ride. And it's you know, it's a very real thing. If you're trying to ride through some countries where dogs are wild, you know, street dogs, they're very territorial. It's difficult, but always be aware of them and cycle back if you can.
I've heard people say that they just spray them with water, but I'm not sure whether that works or not. I've no experience of that.
No, yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, if you were that close to be able to spray them with water, they probably
they're running alongside you, aren't they?
Yeah. But yeah, pretending to pick something up, tried and tested.
Just throw them a walnut, Steve.
Yes, yeah. Get a load of that. 1,400 calories in this little lot. You don't need my leg. Right, what are we on?
E.
Not for several years now, mate. No, bro.
What have you got for E, Steve?
I have got elevation, Daniel.
Have you? Okay. Yeah. Go on then.
I don't think an adventure is an adventure without getting some serious elevation involved. You know, it's all good sort of, you know, if you're in the flatlands of maybe Holland, Belgium, you know, riding through those areas and, you know, not really getting anything. You do have experiences, but you don't get that really sort of, I don't know, there's just something about finishing a ride with having, you know, gained a lot of vertical ascent.
It's probably the second thing that people look at after distance, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if I go out for a ride, if I'm planning a weekend ride, you know, I'll first of all look where I'm going, you know, where I'm going to go, but I will also, you know, really go out of my way to, you know, make it hard. That's what she said. What did I do? Yeah, I'd really sort of go out of my way to make it as hilly and horrible as possible, just because it adds to the adventure, you know. And you know, once you get to the top, the views are invariably tremendous, you know, wherever you are.
Yeah. It's always a mini accomplishment, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. They're sort of micro adventures within a major adventure, or you know. So I think the most elevation I've managed in like 100 miles. Well, it would be the South Downs Way, which is about 11,000, 12,000 feet. But yeah, I mean, if you go to the Alps, you know, you go into any mountain ranges, even like Snowdonia or the Highlands, or even across to the Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland, there's plenty of scope to get high.
Yeah. I wanted to, my entry for E is electronics and charging.
Oh God, yeah, that's a good one, Dan. Yeah.
I think does it add to the stress?
Well, you need them.
I think you do obviously need them, but I think you've always got to be thinking, right, I need to make some provision for charging this now. I'm not really talking about electronic gears. You know, they should last you, and obviously you'd have a backup battery. But you know, for for phones, for Wahoos and Garmin's
For
and
lights.
computers and lights. Yeah, I think as soon as, for lights, as soon as you've switched them off, it's get them charging, get them on the power bank. Just they can do that all day then.
Yeah. No, I don't think there are. I think it's absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Electronics, without a question.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it depends how far you're going, but anything over 12 hours, you've got to, take one of the big battery packs with you, with the right leads for your phone, for your lights, for your Garmin. Because your Garmin's got your maps on it as well.
Yeah.
You could be in the middle of nowhere and not know where you're going. But yeah, for me, electronics, first thing I pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Look after your electronics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Electronics and elevation. EF. What have you got, mate?
Fueling strategy. And this is, we can talk about this until the cows come home.
Could.
The way I was sort of thinking about how much I needed to have for the South Downs Way was 500, 600 calories an hour.
Right. Under what made you calculate that?
Just the sort of intensity that I'll be riding at, just zone 2. I sort of figured with that amount, that should give me enough to not just cover the riding, but also the day-to-day
Breathing, thinking.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, how much
Day-to-day living.
How many calories thinking when you're going down a technical descent?
Yeah.
How many calories does that burn?
Yeah. Stressful.
For me, nothing. It's just like, I'm just like, I sort of try and switch off as much as possible because I've got the mountain bike. But yeah, you're right, of course. It's sort of like the whole process of, doing long distance rides, you're always sort of thinking about your next move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what am I going to do here? What am I going to do there?
Yeah.
So that's a few, it's part of fueling. Yeah. You need to fuel your brain.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm the same. I think, it's different because you are lighter than me. I'm 90 kilos, you're 83.
Yeah.
So it takes, where you might be going up a hill in zone 3, I'll be going up there in zone 4, because I can't not go up there in zone 4.
Yeah.
Because, I haven't got gears big enough low enough to do that. So, I think I might have to take on a bit more than you. So maybe 600-700 calories per hour over those long, 24 hours.
Yeah, it's probably the number one thing to think about, I think, isn't it? It's just keep eating, keep drinking, electrolytes as well.
Yeah. I noticed you were always, on our last biggie, you were electrolyte tab every time we stopped.
Yeah, every time we stopped, Yeah. I think we were lucky there because we had taps that we could just, they're at the side of the trail, so you just stop, fill up your bottle, throw in a tablet and on you go. But, when you are, you're having to sort of source your own liquid, it might be a bit further than you want it to be. So dehydration, obviously a big issue, and making sure you get the electrolytes in as well that go with that.
Yeah, cool.
So I think planning to know where you can get liquid from is a good idea. I know you've had some experience in knocking on some doors. And
well, there's been several occasions actually, most notably in the Cotswolds 200, which I did a couple of years ago. I arrived in a place called Chipping Camden at about midnight. There was nothing there. And it was coming back down to the starting Bath via a very wending route off-road that I noticed how badly provisioned the Cotswolds is in terms of 24-hour garages. So I didn't have water for about 4 hours. I mean, it got to the point where I was looking at puddles, really thinking about it. So I sort of waited until it started to get light. It's about 5 o'clock and a few people started coming out and maybe walking their dogs. And I sort of pounced on the first person I saw and said, "Hi, can I use, there's a hose in their garden." I was like, "Can I use your hose, please?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." It was the best drink I've ever had. Yeah. It was like I was just lying on their garden, just like using the hose like that. And
better than the puddle.
Yeah, honestly, the puddle was was about to happen.
Very close second.
And I was looking at rivers thinking, I don't know. I think that's another reason a lot of people take what do you call them, water purifiers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how long it'd take to purify puddle water. But yeah, anything looks tempting when you're in that kind of mess.
Yes.
I mean, I was in an absolute mess. And then second, I've knocked on doors. And everyone's always really amenable, to a very badly prepared ultra cyclist.
I think they'll give you anything to go away, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, basically looks like they got a tramp knocking on their door, who smells worse than, a sort of...
A very smelly tramp.
Yes. So just go away, take the water and be gone. So yeah, fueling.
Yeah.
How not to do it. Just, make sure, I think, that the bottom line there was make sure you know where you're going to get your next resupply from.
Yeah. I think, there's no excuse for not carrying enough, really. You should be able to carry enough for 6 hours, surely, on a bike.
In terms of food, yeah. In terms of water, no.
Though, as well.
Well, I mean, I've got 1.5 litres on my back and I've got 1.5 litres on my bike. 3 litres.
Yeah, but you can get another couple of litres on a rack, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to go, if you knew you had to last that long, you'd manage it one way or another. Yeah.
What you got for G, Steve?
My computer's died, so I don't know.
Hang on, I shall tell you.
Yeah.
You've got gloves.
Gloves. Something I should wear, but I don't. And the reason I say this now is the reason it came to my mind is because, particularly if you're on a sort of off-road mountain bikey type course that can go on for, I rode 700 kilometers earlier this year on a mountain bike. And my hands didn't feel like they belonged to me for several weeks after.
Yeah.
And there is such an ailment as white finger as well.
On your pinky finger,
where you can't feel it, and it can potentially sort of, I'm not sure if it can go gangrene, but it's potentially it can.
Well, you can get long-lasting symptoms from it, can't you?
What, from white finger?
Yeah.
Right.
If you're, is it your radius nerve or your ulnar nerve in your hand? Yeah, because I had it at the end of the South Downs.
Oh, right.
And it's just my pinky finger and my ring finger on both hands. And, I was wearing gloves, but, there's only...
But it does soften the blow. Gloves do. When I rode from Land's End to John O'Groats as well, I did so without gloves.
Yeah.
And I got to the Highlands and I couldn't feel my hands.
Yeah.
And I spoke to somebody about it in the pub that night. And he's like, no, he was like a physician of some sort. He said, got to wear gloves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's another good argument for using drop bars as well.
Without doubt, because you've got so many handholds.
Just vary your position, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got so many different handholds. So, yeah, gloves are a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will be using them from here on in. H.
I've got humour.
Yeah. Tell me a joke.
None are repeatable, Steve. I think there's times when, like we ride together quite a lot. And, I think it'd be even harder if we didn't. Although in some ways, I think we feel like we're slowing each other down or letting each other down. But I think sometimes there's,
The thing is, when you're alone, you've got your own agenda. When you're with somebody else, you've got two people to can potentially, you've got two lots of bikes to potentially break down.
Yeah.
You've got two lots of brains to potentially break down. You've got two lots of bodies to break down. If you've only got one, that makes life easy. I don't know where this is going humour-wise, but yeah, we sort of we go into this thing after about 12 hours where we're no longer in our own brains.
Well, there's time just passes where we're not talking to each other, and then we'll just do an impression or something. It just come out of the blue, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just lifted the mood. It's not like we ride along grumpy or anything like that. It's just you're in a little zone, and then a little bit of humour just lifts it.
Yeah.
And of course, when
and it is, and when the humour, when it starts, and you're in that sort of quite a fragile state of mind, so the humour gets a little bit weird, gets a bit out there, and you're more susceptible to like just pissing yourself laughing, and it's sort of like, it's almost like you're drunk.
Yeah.
It's almost like drunk laughter.
Yeah.
You just laugh.
It's very repetitive. I know that. Same jokes over and over again.
Yeah. It can go on for like 50 miles.
Yeah.
And then for the next 2 weeks after we finish the ride. So it's good fun.
I think it's good. And like when things, you are in a bit of a situation which, you've got a mechanical at 2:00 in the morning and all you want to do is wish you were in bed. You just sort of think, well, if there's somebody there just lightening the mood a bit, it just kind of give you a little bit more.
Somebody filming you going, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I think
fixing my bike again.
Yeah. So I think humour's important.
Definitely. I mean, riding partners in general. I ride alone a fair bit, but when I don't, it's obviously a better laugh. I don't make myself laugh that much.
Oh, I
do. Sometimes I tell myself a joke, but it just doesn't hit the spot. Yeah.
So I think that's, an important one.
Humour, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what you've got for I, Steve? Ill.
Yeah. So illness. Okay, like when you're out on the trail and you have been for several days, and your body's sort of, it's very vulnerable, isn't it? You're more susceptible to getting ill than, any other occasion, really. Illness is something we all have to sort of potentially plan for. And when you're on a super long ride, like if you've got like 1,000K or 2,000K, or, what do? Do you just call it quits? Or do you convalesce somewhere, or do you keep riding?
Yeah.
I think if the ride's been planned for a long time, you just hole up until you're done. I mean, there's plenty of people that get stomach sickness, and
I guess the location possibly dictates as well. If you're feeling ill, but you've got to get somewhere to bail, well, you've got to get somewhere anyway. So maybe it passes, maybe it doesn't. Your illness.
Yeah, but there are plenty of people that can feel absolutely at their lowest ebb with stomach issues. And that'll feel like the absolute end of the world, because you'll have no energy. You can't eat to get fuel in you.
No.
But sometimes just, resting up to 24 hours or even 48 hours, and then you're back on the road again.
Yeah.
So, I think illness is, going to be judged by individual cases. But if it's something like stomach sickness, just give it time.
Yeah. Your illness sort of, I had injury management for my eye. And It's a very similar thing. It's kind of like, what do you take with you? An anti-inflammatory, a painkiller, as much as I like using them, it's like, your body is trying to tell you something. Well, with my inflammation in my knee, 2 days later, I was perfectly fine. It was just a bit of tendonitis. And so, there is a part of me that's going, well, I hope this isn't anything that is damaging me for the long term. But there's,
When did you make the decision? Because I know you started making noises about your knee at about 12 hours in.
About 12 minutes in.
Was it sort of okay, I'm here now, I'm just going to do it regardless of what happens?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And, it wasn't pain-free after it. By a long shot, it was still really painful. I couldn't get out the saddle to put any pressure down. Like every time I stopped to sort of kick off, it was my dominant leg, a lot of pain. But
and there's a lot of gates
a
lot
of stop-start.
Out on the trails. Yeah.
So I think, pain management drugs are a good idea. Simple ones. I never really used chamois cream, but my nethers were a bit painful on the last big one.
God.
And I don't know why. I had like a little tube of nappy rash cream from when my daughter was a baby about 10 years ago. So it's probably a little bit out of date, but it was psychologically something that was probably quite nice to apply.
Again, it's sort of, you can actually get these sort of compressed plasters as well. If saddle sores are completely debilitating.
Yeah, like there's top riders have given up races because of it. Yeah.
And if they get infected, it's going to keep you out of the sport for quite a long time. So you've got to take care of your backside. I mean, your hands, your feet, your backside. Yeah. I mean, your backside's bearing the brunt of like most of it, isn't it? Especially off-road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to a point, sort of 18 hours into the South Downs when we've been like going. I just couldn't sit down. And now, on previous to that, I've sort of stuffed. I'm spitting. I've stuffed like jumpers and t-shirts down the back of my cycling shorts just to try and have that extra padding. But did that work? No, it didn't. It just made it worse. So I mean, but you can get these plasters and that to put over. It gives you a sort of second skin.
Yeah.
But ideally, just slather on the old body butter prior to leaving.
Yes.
It could make or break your ride.
Yeah. And the other thing which I don't want to talk about too much is toilet paper. Just have an emergency stash. Should we go on to Jay?
Oh, come on. There's some funny trail toilet stories.
We don't want to go there, Steve.
Yeah. All I'm saying is there's a chunk of woodland up by Amberley Mount. I'll not 3 words it for you, but just don't go there. Yeah. Bad stuff happened. But Jay.
It's a biohazard. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on. Well, mine is journaling because being a bit of a, person that might want to do this again, I think it's quite important to write down your experience.
Right.
Just so you don't forget things, really, what could help you in the future.
Yeah, okay.
I think, what went well, what didn't, what you would do differently in the future leading up to it.
Yeah. Do you journal like on a sort of daily basis outside of cycling?
No.
I know a lot of. I know it's quite a big thing now.
It is quite a big thing now, but
I think it helps a lot of people. I mean, my daughter does it. Both my daughters do it. They sort of write down what happened. I won't read it because I'll probably feature in it. It won't be good. Yeah, parents should never read their daughters' diaries.
Yeah, either you're in it or some boys.
Yeah. So, but I think it just helps you sort of process everything, doesn't it? And I've never actually done it myself. I just have a jumble of thoughts going through my head and just splurge it out into the next attempt.
Yeah.
Which, but journaling. Cool.
Yeah, just a reminder of how you could do it differently. Because you forget things, don't you? Certainly, after a long time in the saddle, there's bits that you're talking about the South Downs Way, and I did it 2 weeks ago, and I can't actually remember it.
No.
I know it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's a big blur.
But
that's just sleep death as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all good. Get stuff down while you can remember it. And you can start sort of dealing with it in the future for what might happen.
Yeah.
Plenty of time in advance. Take some chamois cream, for instance, is in my,
I've even got some. I don't know why I didn't pack it. I packed everything but the kitchen sink and my chamois cream.
Yeah.
I thought I was really well prepared this time, but
yes.
Next time.
Yes. So shall we get on to K?
Let's go K.
You haven't got a K.
I haven't got a K.
Oh, very good.
I was thinking like kangaroo and kite.
Yes, well, I've got kit. What do you need?
What, for an adventure ride, a bike pack, an ultra? What?
Any of it.
Well, I think I think a working bike. A bike that's not going to break easy.
Yeah.
And we are going to do an episode about how to bulletproof your bike in the coming weeks. But yeah, a bike that works. So, you know, we're talking charged gears, we're talking new tires, we're talking enough sealant, we're talking good new brake pads. What else are we talking?
Gears at work, you know, all sorts of, you know, just general service is always good. Sort of leads me on a little bit to one later on. It's just maintenance is always good. Bike maintenance, bike knowledge is always good to know. Yeah. Carry a few spares, but I'll get onto that. I think, yeah, so alongside kind of, you know, mechanical kit for your bike, I think clothing is a big thing as well. You know, you don't want to be carrying stuff that you're not going to wear. I know on one ride I had a sort of waterproof jacket, which was like a boil in the bag thing, and it did keep me warm, but obviously I was sweating. And go downhill, you get really cold. But having said that, it was really light. You know, I could put it in a pocket and forget about it. You know, when we did the South Downs double the last time, it would drop to, I think they were saying 12 degrees overnight. And although it gets colder sort of in pockets and in valleys, I think the climbs came at such a sort of regular pace that, you know, you just get warm enough just to take you down the other side as well. So I did put on my...
Although that's probably a bit of an outlier, the South Downs way, because it is so spiky.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, you know, I wouldn't want to, if I was doing longer climbs, I wouldn't do that.
No.
You know, there's times when you can't feel your fingers and your face and all that because you're so cold. You don't want that when you're sleep deprived. And
no.
So, yeah.
That's going to lead to potential danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be potentially risk your life.
Yeah. Yeah. What have we got for L? You've got lights.
I think that comes under kit, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, lights. I carry 2 on the back, 2 on the front. I'm rocking a Exposer Diablo for my helmet, which is amazing.
Yeah.
If you want an all-night light, get one of those. It's sort of a full charge. I stuck it on around 9:30. It was still going strong at about 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So, 9:30 at night till 5 in the morning. Yeah, one charge, and there's still a charge in it. And I've also got one of the Exposure... one of the big uns. I can't remember the name of it now, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a big boy, isn't it?
Yeah. That's just you get a proper sort of floodlight out of that. What about yourself, Dan? What are you using?
I've got an Exposure Diablo. It's really old. It's probably 10 years old, and I put it on my helmet. I think that's great to have it on there because when you're having mechanicals, the last thing you want to be doing is, you know, trying to point a light in the right direction. So if it's on your head, you know it's going in the right direction.
Hopefully.
Yes.
If your head's in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I say, it was old, but I sort of pre-tested it, gave it a full charge before I went out and timed how long it would take to die. And I think I got about 6.5 hours out of that. So I had that.
Pretty good.
Yeah. On the lowest setting. So I was probably about 700 lumens. So not that bright, but okay for the speed we were traveling, I think. And
it just becomes a little bit, you know, you need something with a bit more oomph when you're going down these technical trails. You know?
Yeah, I had the bike mounted one as well, but that was a bit of a backup. And again, that would last me about 6 hours. So I could go through one night okay, but I wouldn't want to go through 2 really, even though I still had a bit of charge left.
Out comes the power bank.
Yeah.
So lights, so important.
Yeah.
They help you see and they help keep you alive as well.
They do. I know a lot of people are using dynamos, aren't they?
Yes.
As well. Obviously, you don't have any, you know, you don't have to think about it then.
Yeah.
It's just there, isn't it? And can you charge other things off dynamos now?
Probably.
I guess you probably can,
can't
you?
Yeah, I've not looked into it, but I'm sure you can,
Yeah.
Comments. Tell us all you know about dynamo lights and whether or not you can charge other things off them. Thank you.
I think what I've got for L is last minute training. Can you do any? Is it worth it? I tend to think.
For a what?
Ultra. I think if you're going to an ultra without any preparation, I think you're...
Well, the thing is, I mean, it depends how much training you've done prior to that. You know, if you've had sort of years of experience of turning pedals and, you know, got some good baseline endurance. I think you could probably, you know,
I think it's that
turn
exactly,
up and
isn't
complete
it?
it.
I think it's that you're riding at such a kind of low intensity that it's just, as long as you keep feeding yourself, you know, getting fuel in, you just keep kind of going, don't you?
Yeah. You don't really need high end. I mean, high end will obviously make you go faster. The people that are winning ultra races have got amazing power to weight ratios. You know, they're often very light, but, you know, they're sort of, you know, their FTPs are sort of 5+ watts per kilo.
Yeah.
So they're just able to, you know, keep turning over the pedals at a really rapid, powerful pace, or a powerful rate. And
It's
they say their zone 2 will just
something, isn't it? I think you mentioned Ian Toe is what he's doing 13, 14 miles an hour off road.
Yeah.
In zone 2. That doesn't sound like you're going that fast, but you know, when you're off road doing the,
I mean, the good guys, they're sort of capping, they're capping their power at sort of 250, 280, but that'll be zone 2. So yeah, they got a high power to weight and they're just very efficient, very efficient. So last minute training, I think you've just got to, I think, you know, a few weeks out, you know, if you were to do a couple of back-to-back days, a few weeks out, 100 miles, it's going to give you something, just a little top up. But I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. I think, you know, with ultra riding, it's experience as much as everything.
Yeah, just consistently building it up.
And it's just the experience of what happens when that goes wrong, what happens when that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. M. So we've got M. You've got mosquito repellent.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, not necessarily mosquitoes, because I don't think, well, there are mosquitoes in the UK, but there's a lot of bugs everywhere, especially when you're up high. When I was in the Highlands, not the Highlands, when I was in the borderlands, Scottish borders, when I was doing the Pennine Trail, I climbed up out of Scotland and into Northumberland. It was a very long and slow climb, and I couldn't outride these damn bugs, and it looked like I was sort of sporting a wig of just like bugs basically. And it was so annoying, you know, they were in my eyes, up my nose and my ears, you know.
Because I know you don't wear glasses at night, do you?
I don't. I don't wear glasses in general because they steam up too quickly. Yeah. If anyone knows any good glasses that don't steam up, pop it in the comments, please, because I just can't wear them. Yeah. So yeah, a good mosquito repellent will mitigate the chances of that happening. Give you a nice sort of quieter, less hindered ride up to wherever you're going.
Yeah. I know, like one of the rides we did at night, we stopped and I had leg warmers on. No, I didn't. I had knee warmers on. Just my lower legs were just covered in bites and top half wasn't. I just thought, well, next time I'll just pack leg warmers. Yeah. And so, you know, no skin on exposed that way. So, other M, maintenance knowledge, we probably don't need to talk about it too much. It's just obviously like knowing your way around a bike.
How to fix punctures, how to plug a hole in a tyre, how to change brake pads.
You know, as much as sort of part of the beauty of a bike is how simple it is, they're not actually that simple anymore, are they? No. And yeah, comes with experience, I guess, is what to take with you. I always think you take a chain link, a chain splitter, if you need to, a little bit of lube. Obviously tyre stuff, not that sort of lube, Steve.
Nothing happened up there. Between me and that sheep,
all right? So yeah, totally lost my chain of thought.
I don't know why that is.
Like essentials for on the bike, multi-tools, plugs, all that sort of stuff, batteries. zip ties.
Zip ties are good, and like gaffer tape.
Yeah,
it's
no,
great
you like
for
your gaffer tape, don't you?
Yeah, it's just great if something breaks, you just gaffer tape it.
Yeah.
You know, even if like your wheel snaps, you can gaffer tape it. Well, it will.
You can try.
Well, you can, and it will sort of hopefully get you to where you want to go. But that Gorilla Tape is awesome.
Yeah,
just holds anything.
Yeah.
So, what would your number one tool to take out on the trail be? Obviously, a multi-tool.
A pump, I guess.
A pump, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
I've got one of these electric pumps now.
Yeah, I know you like your electric pump. Like you see, I'm a little bit like, I can't be doing with like stressing about that conking out. You know, you've got like 3 chances and it's flat.
No, because I can charge it up with a charger.
It doesn't take one more thing to think about.
Yeah, but it doesn't take that long to charge either. It takes 5 minutes for full charge.
Yeah, no, I was quite impressed.
So electric pumps, double thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, we tried to use a CO2, didn't we, on my little mini
CO2's double thumbs down.
Well,
it just didn't work, did it?
It just blew up. Just sort of blew up, didn't it?
It did.
It's like, glad it didn't freeze my hand.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Don't know what happened there.
Yeah. User error, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
don't listen to us, so we don't know what we're talking about, clearly.
I think people work that out by now. So, a bit of maintenance knowledge, always good, I think.
Okay.
N. What have you got for N, Steve? You've got nature. Now, what's
Absolutely.
that all about?
Absolutely. That's the reason I ride.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I ride. I love being out in nature. I love looking at my surroundings. I love listening to birdsong. I love seeing roe deer eat the farmer's crops. Not because I don't like the farmer, but I just like looking at roe deer and muntjac and I mean, riding bikes has actually got me into bird spotting. I now can identify bird song and identify, bird of prey silhouettes, and I know their sort of behaviors and stuff. It's because I'm out on the trail all the time, either hiking or cycling for the most part over summer. And it's opened up a new world. I love what comes with outdoor trail riding, with adventure riding. So that's really a great reason for me to go out on the bike.
Certainly off road.
Or even on road, you still see a lot. I think riding bikes is probably the best way to spot wildlife because you take them by surprise. It's not like walking where you can hear thud, 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 and your steps can be heard from a mile off. If you're on a bicycle with a sort of quiet free hub, you can almost sort of start mingling with a bevy of deer. They don't know you're there, and ditto. When we've seen badgers and stuff at night, it's just amazing. Snakes, I've seen adders and grass snakes out on the trail, and owls, and I had, when I was riding, I can't remember which race it was. Oh, it's an Omni Loop. It was a road ride, a road ultra, a 24-hour road TT in March. I had a barn owl fly hunting by my light for about half a mile. It was amazing. It was my favorite part of the entire race. So, for me, appreciate what you're riding through. Really look around, look to your left, look to your right. Enjoy the Great British countryside or whichever country you're riding through.
Yes. Moving on to O. Now, you've got...
Owl?
No, you've got odour.
So, obviously, you got to make peace with the fact that during an adventure, bikepacking or ultra ride, at some point, you are going to become rather fragrant. So I don't have anything to add. It's just a warning, It's just expect looks, when you're sitting on a pavement, eating a packet of cheddars,
Jacob's cheddars.
Walkers.
Walkers, are they?
that, you know, you're going to get looks. You know, if you put your cycling helmet on the floor, you might even get some money put in there. So, but yeah, just saying, you know, you will sort of take on the appearance of a vagrant.
And people will avoid you. I know, like when we had our little stopover in Winchester in the Premier Inn, I think either you were talking or I just nodded off mid-sentence. I think you went down to the bar, didn't you? And you went down in the kit that you've been wearing for
I didn't have any
25, 26 hours.
Yeah. I sat there and they gave me a beer for free.
I'm sure you didn't care.
No, I didn't care.
No.
God, no. They said, because they put us in the wrong room, we had to move. And they said, have a beer on the house. Well, thank you very much. You know, I was just filthy. Absolute filth. But yeah, that was a very, very tasty beer.
Yes. So my O is a little bit more sensible. It's organisation, lists.
Boring.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Like, I've got quite a good list now, and it's like I know, right? That is my list of like what bike kit I need. That's what clothing I need.
Yeah.
That's what food I need. That's you know, that's my personal admin. It's like just tick them all off. You know, do it all in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That stress is gone. So that's pre.
Mine's all up here, apart from the chamois cream.
So I think that's a good sort of pre.
No, it's an extremely sensible thing to do.
Yes.
Just, you know, your standard items that you're going to take with you, your tools, your clothes, your food.
Yeah.
That's
easy.
And your electronics.
Put it all in a box so you're not hunting
there
in the
is
house.
so much to think about, isn't there? There is so much to think about, even on a 24-hour ride.
Yeah. The less stress that you need before, the better.
Yeah.
But I also think like organisation, like, you know, speed awareness, like sort of you probably, if you've got enough experience, you can work out sort of what speed you're going to be travelling at. And that helps you plan, of course. Like, yeah, it's going to take me 4 hours to get to that point. And, you know, I know there's not, you know, anywhere to buy supplies before or after or whatever. It helps you plan. So, you know, if you know
helps you mitigate the chances of knocking on random doors or drinking out of hose pipes.
That is true. Yes. Which, yeah, is a great anecdote, but does hamper progress maybe.
Well, it's definitely not going to make you go any faster.
No. So that's a good one. Also, like, I guess nowhere to bail. Is that a little bit too bail? Nowhere to get out, where you can get out. You know, I know we've been, you know, one of our double attempts, we got to a youth hostel and you knew that like 2 miles down the hill was a train station. It's like, well, okay, it's pretty.
Sorry, what number's this? What letters?
We're still on organisation.
Oh, right.
So yeah, just knowing the route really.
Oh right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know, you're in the UK. You're never far away from civilization, are you? But,
not really.
You know,
well, it depends. I mean, there's parts of Wales and Scotland and the lakes in Yorkshire that you could have an issue. But certainly where we are in the south, you're never that far away from the welcoming arms of a train station or a watering hole.
Exactly.
Or a 24-hour garage.
Yeah. Right. So we're on to P. We've got prepare, pacing.
Pacing, yeah. So obviously, you know, this is something that you've got to work out for yourself. How are you going to pace? For me, there are two main methods of pacing: heart rate, and power. I think power, if you can, just to set it as a, you know, if you don't want to exceed a certain, you know, to keep things in check, you know, I'm not going to go over this wattage. Ditto heart rate, you know, not going to exceed this heart rate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, but it obviously depends on how long the race, the event is. I mean, if it's 100 miles, you don't need to pace, do you? Really, you can just smash yourself into submission. If it's 200, that's where you start. You know, you've got to start thinking about it. If it's 500k, that's where you definitely want that power meter out or the heart rate to, you want to know exactly where your LT1 is,
exactly.
lactate threshold 1, but that opens a whole new can of worms. But checking your lactate levels is a very good way of pacing.
I think it's very good. I think, I don't use power off-road. And I do sometimes use it on road.
Cap it though.
But I don't have the knowledge of what my LT1 is at the moment. But if I wanted to do an event when speed was in the essence, I would find that out in advance, and then you could try and work out your intake. Obviously.
So LT1 is lactate threshold 1, which is basically the first inflection point when your lactate spikes. So you want to try and keep it below that level, so you're burning as little carbohydrate as possible.
I think, for me, for pacing, it's a bit of an eye opener. I sort of come from a sort of more racing kind of background, and everything's about speed, whereas sometimes slower is faster in ultras, isn't it?
Oh, without doubt,
conservation of energy.
Yeah.
Very easy when you're feeling good to, go up a zone, up a hill or whatever.
Yeah,
and
but
you may be paying for that later down the road. So
come back to bite you on the behind a couple of hours later or a day later or whatever.
So being kind of disciplined to sort of take it easy, really.
Yes,
and
it is pure discipline.
There's joy in that as well. There's joy in sort of just
sticking to your mark, sticking to the numbers.
Yeah. So what have we got? Q, quit. Yours is quit.
Yeah, when to quit and when not to quit. I have quit. How many ultras have I quit this year? One.
Yeah, what was that? The Southern Divide?
Southern Divide.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because I broke my hand. Well, or broke my thumb or did something bad to it because it sort of ballooned out and it.
Not really a great reason, though, is it?
It's a pretty good reason. I had to use my aero bar as a sling for 200 miles. Yeah, but it was just, I mean, fortunately, serendipitously, the Southern Divide, it goes past my front door, so I stopped there. That was after like 550k. But I completely busted myself up and quitting. I wanted to do a decent ride, but it hurt too much. So I had to quit. So I think if your bones are broken, I think that's probably a good indicator of.
Because I know I rode out to meet you on that one and rode back like the last 20, 30 miles with you to near where your house was.
Yeah.
And you were looking pretty strong physically. You were.
Yeah, I was all right.
Pace.
Yeah, I was fine apart from my hand.
I think you'd spent 3 hours in McDonald's refueling.
Yes,
so
it was
all right. But how much of a pull do you think that front door was for you quitting? You probably had another. How many hours after that, if you'd have kept going, would it?
No idea, because it would have been another 6 hours. Not that long, to be honest.
Yeah. So this is a part of you now that thinks, if the front door wasn't there, I would have continued. It's all easy in hindsight.
No, and I'll tell you why. I would have made it to there a lot quicker hadn't it been for my hand, because I stopped. I had to, I stopped early the day I crashed and ended up in a hotel. And that set me back massively on my target time. And I wanted to arrive basically where my house was the day before.
Yeah.
And I wanted to arrive at the end, just 6 hours after that. But it was a time commitment thing. So it was sort of like, no, I had stuff to do on the Monday, so I couldn't actually do it.
Yes.
But quitting, it's a dirty word, isn't it? I don't know. It's difficult. I think, entering an ultra, I think it takes bravery in itself. So I don't think you can ever really call it quitting.
Yeah, I think you learn from it, don't you? Certainly.
Yeah, it's just a big learning curve. And if you quit, scratch or DNF, as they say, I no doubt your wanderlust would have not yet been satiated, and you'll probably end up on the start line of another race.
Yeah, they're quite addictive, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we've got so I've got recovery, and you've got right to roam.
Yeah.
What's your right to roam?
Right to roam. Unfortunately, we don't have a right to roam in England, unlike we do in Wales and Scotland. So in Wales and Scotland, you can go anywhere you want, as long as you're not blatantly crossing over a farmer's field. But, if you see a spot that you want to get to, and, you can just sort of clamber your way up there on your bike. But here we don't have that. We don't have that. We're not obligated. We're not able to do that in England.
Yeah.
So I'm calling for a change on the English right to roam laws.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what ours about for me.
Yeah. I know there's some sort of talk about changing the right to roam, but it's been talked for a long time, so I'm not sort of that optimistic it will happen.
Well, the guy who wrote the book Right to Roam was actually written by a guy called Guy Shrubsall, which is my second name.
Yes.
But it's spelled slightly different. So, Guy, I appreciate your work. Keep it going. I just think, I just don't think that England is particularly well provisioned for trail riders.
I don't think it is. I think we found that, haven't we? And I think there's quite a few times when you're looking on the map and there's a bridleway going through there and the farmer's not letting you go through there.
So many times I've come to a bridleway that no longer exists, and it's invariably at the end of a cul-de-sac, and the people who live at the end of that cul-de-sac have basically battened it up.
Yeah, just let it overgrown.
Yeah, and then you say, oh, no, this centuries-old bridleway doesn't exist anymore, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just an extension of their garden. But also I get into arguments with farmers quite a lot. Because if I see a path running down the side of a field and I ride on that as opposed to the road on the side of it that's all of a sudden become hugely built up because, more housing projects or whatever, I don't see a huge problem in cycling down the side of a field. I know the argument is, if you do it, then everyone will do it. But I think, people that go outside and enjoy the countryside, they don't want to cause any adverse effects to pasture land, to farming land.
Some do. I kind of got a friend in the Peak District, and he's, always going on about how dirty it is, just litter, all that sort of stuff. So
maybe. I wonder if it's that sort of more.
I kind of get it. I just don't think England is a very sort of outdoorsy sort of.
Which is a shame, really, because we've got the Peak District, we've got the South Downs, we've got the North Downs, the Yorkshire Moors, the Dales, the Lakes. Yeah. It's an amazing country. But there's very little of it we're allowed to walk on or ride on. And I find that quite upsetting. It's sort of like, I think it's something like 50% of the UK land is owned by 1% of the population.
Is it? Yeah.
So, you'll free up a little bit. I know they're just custodians and they're taking care of that land, but they are logging it, they are making a profit from it as well. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a bugbear of mine, but I guess that's what happens when you spend a lot of time out in nature and find a lot of it closed off to you.
Yeah. What about kind of going off on a bit of a tangent, kind of wild camping, sleeping? I know we're not meant to do it in England, are we? But, what is the difference of sort of, you're riding along at 3 o'clock in the morning, you want to have a little sleep for 20 minutes. What's the difference to that to then just spending 3 hours in that position? I wouldn't call 20-minute lying down next to your bike having a little power nap camping.
No.
Obviously, we respect the environment.
Well, it's the whole leave no trace thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think if you're caught, particularly by a landowner, they take they really do not like it.
No.
I saw a video of a couple of cyclists who'd gone wild camping in a farmer's field, just on the side there. You know, it weren't causing any bother. You know, hopefully they wouldn't have left anything. But yeah, the farmer, he came along and just sprayed them with manure.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Like, you know, really doused them. Like,
you
know, it's a dangerous amount. There's probably in their system.
Yeah.
So he found that hilarious. And so did a lot of other people. But I just thought, just completely childish. And you just thought, they think they can go anywhere. Who's they? People that are enjoying the countryside.
Yeah.
They're not harming your... I don't know, this could be quite a contentious subject. I apologise to farmers if you're watching. Yeah. But I just don't see anything wrong with walking around or sleeping at the side of the land. Especially if we're leaving litter, bad. But if we're not...
I think, you know, you just got to do it. And nobody sees it, really.
Yeah.
You know,
so
get in there late and get up early. Yeah.
If you want to go to the toilet, dig a hole. I don't know what said that, but you know, that's what you got to do.
Yes,
you know.
So on to S, and that is not that.
I think we've covered enough of that. I still think we've spoken enough of that.
You keep going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
S. So yours is sleep deprivation, which we've sort of spoken about.
We have.
Mine is self-limiting beliefs, which I think it's one of the reasons why I do it. I think really it's just it's very easy, you know, to get into a comfort rut. And I think,
got to take yourself out of your comfort zone.
For me, it's like, just find out what's sort of holding you back. You push them a little bit.
Otherwise, life becomes just, you just go through the motions, don't you?
Yeah.
I think, you know, whoever it was that said do something every day that scares you, that's probably taking it a little bit to extreme. Because that would just your life would just be one scary event then, wouldn't it? But I think, you know, taking yourself out of your comfort zone once a month.
Yeah, I think it's very, very, it's a healthy thing to do.
Yeah, and planning towards that.
Yeah.
Seeing what you're capable of in terms of physical and mental performance, you know.
I think physically, you know, what I've found is I'm more able to do a lot more than I thought I would be able to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I haven't found my limit yet.
No, God, no. I don't think there's no limit. Have you not read David Goggins' book?
Oh, don't get onto David Goggins.
Yeah. I think his book is called No Limit or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is probably right. To the point where you die. I think that guy just takes it to absolute extremes. I think he sort of, Goggins isn't an ultra athlete. He's a robot.
Force of nature.
Yes.
But
I think, Goggins is an extreme example. But I just think, it's just really nice just to get out of your comfort zone and make sure it doesn't mess you up too much, because, you know, getting out of your comfort zone demands time, demands a lot of energy.
It can also, though, have adverse effects for quite a long time. That's the other thing. Like, I was surprised how quickly I recovered from the longer stuff that I've done. You know, I know people that have done what I've done, and they've said that it's sort of, you know, taken months for them to get over it. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, but it's taken me a week or so.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe that's a different preparation. I don't know, but...
Was that a week or so of doing nothing?
Not doing nothing, just very little, really.
Sleeping.
Eating, So, you know, there's always, you don't want to be doing something that you're going to, you know, feel for the next half a year or ruin something going on.
No,
but, you know, it's all,
that's,
you know,
it goes against, I mean, there's no point to that, is it? Because it just means you can't do anything else for 6 months or whatever. And there are people that do rinse themselves to that. To that point where, you know, they train for something, that's what I'm going to do, and then they smash themselves on that, and then they're out of action for another 6 months. So for me, I prefer to sort of, drip. Drip it through the year.
So for T, you've got tyres and I've got tubes or tubeless.
Similar things.
Do we need to talk about this?
Not really. Tyres, Get new tyres, basically. If you think your tyres are new, they're not. Get newer ones. If you're going on a long ride, new tyres. I think that's new tyres and new brake pads. That's the key. Yeah. And
I think
make sure they're tubeless as well.
Yeah, I
and
think
you've got loads of sealant in there.
I think heavier riders, as we mentioned before, it's more important. I think lighter riders can get away with lighter tubes, lighter tyres. But yeah, it's just so demoralising having a puncture at 2 o'clock in the morning that won't, that you can't fix. So
it's evil. It's sent straight down from Satan's own fingertips. He's the one. Satan did this.
Yes. So on to you. You haven't got anything. I think. What happened
For what?
For you?
Oh, you. I was going to put umbrella.
It's not the first thing you think of, Steve.
It was.
Yeah, I know. I've got uncomfort. That's a bit of a cop out as well.
What have you put?
Uncomfortable. It's going to be like, I remember on the South Downs double, like coming back the next day, just telling myself this is going to pass. 6 hours time, I'll be sat there, I'll be fine. And it doesn't make it sound very appealing, but at the time it was a way of sort of dealing with it.
What was, mate? Sorry, say it again.
Me saying to myself, like, this pain will pass.
Oh, right. Oh, this too shall pass.
Yes. And, like uncomfort.
This pain in my arse shall eventually pass. But yeah, it doesn't. Well, it does.
It's self-induced pain, isn't it?
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
It's
and that's
self-inflicted suffering.
Yes, that's different to having it forced upon you completely.
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't think you can really make
No, you can't. It's like when we spoke with Dr. Hutch, he said, I can't really class, cycling as suffering because, you're the one turning the pedals over. It's not like you've got a life-threatening illness.
No.
So,
And you can just stop.
You can just stop.
Yeah.
Phone up someone and say, come and get me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
V
is variety of terrain. Like, you haven't got anything for this. This is what I've got. I'm clutching at straws here.
I was going to write van just because I had an altercation with a man in a van. Won't get into it. But yeah, words are exchanged. That was it. Unlike the time when I had an altercation with
Not Hell's Angel.
With the Hell's Angels, yeah. So one of the kindly chaps ran me off the road. Big gent.
That's nice.
And then his mates all tore past me. And I was just incensed, absolutely incensed. Like, why would you do that? Why would you run me off the road? I'm just a person on a bicycle. Why would you do this? So he ran me off the road. I was on a grass verge. Joke was on him. I was on a giant
Revolt.
I was on a giant revolt, and it sort of ate up the grass verge for breakfast. Anyway, I followed them, and they ended up in a pub. And I sort of got off my bike and click-clacked into the pub. And there he was, just getting off his bike. And he stood up, and he was like 7 foot tall. Genuinely, I think he must have been about 6'6". And I sort of said, "Hey, buddy, why did you do that?" And then he sort of morphed into what looked like the Incredible Hulk and smacked me. And so ended that little tete-a-tete. Anyway, what did you have for V?
That was my V, but you went off on a tangent.
Oh,
Steve.
sorry.
Yeah, it was variety of terrain.
Well, a variety of, I don't know, he threw a variety of punches, but only connected with one. But yeah, sorry, this is going a bit weird now. But what are we? VU, yeah.
No, we've done U, haven't we?
Yeah,
uncomfortable. We've done V variety. We're on to W. You've got Wahoo, and I've got Y. Like, why do I do it? Why do you do it? Come on, why do you do this,
Well,
Steve?
clearly to get punched by Hell's Angels in random pubs.
Yeah.
No. The why. That's an episode all in itself, I think, that. But
what, you go into your dark recesses of your mind?
Go to the darkest recesses of my mind and just sort of dwell
dig
there.
Something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think why is an entire episode. But what about yourself?
I think it's like just got to keep sort of pushing myself really, and just trying to discover new things about myself. Challenges. It's all good.
You're supposed to discover yourself in places like Southeast Asia and India, don't you? Not on the South Downs Way.
Well, it's a bit nearer and cheaper.
True.
Or maybe it's not cheaper.
Well, it depends if you go in the Cadence Cafe or not. What are we on?
We're on X.
Is iPhone? X-ray? X-ray, something I had to have when I broke my ribs during a CX a cross-country race. Yeah. 2 cross-country races, 3 broken ribs. Pretty good ratio of breakages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still get out there and do it.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything for X. So I think we're sticking to X-ray, aren't we?
What could you have for X?
Well, actually, I did think like cross-training.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Sort of.
That's an X, isn't it? Cyclocross training.
If you're incredibly lazy. Yeah.
I think X-training or cross-training has been...
What cross-training would you do as a ultra or adventure rider?
I think just a lot of body conditioning.
Yeah.
Outside of cycling. Lot of, I've had enough injuries in the past to know where my weaknesses are, nearly 50 now. So, spent a long time riding a bike and also sat at a desk, and, muscle imbalances, always good to know what they are and know how to sort of counter that. So, seeing a physio, getting any sort of problems ironed out and addressed, I think is a good idea. Good hour and a half a week leading up to it, doing just sort of some strength stuff really.
Right. Stretches as well?
Not too much though. Like, I think you can sort of exacerbate sort of problems with stretches, I think.
Right.
That's just my personal feeling on it. And I know there's plenty of people that will disagree, but...
Oh, I love stretching.
Yeah, but stretches, it's easy to do, aren't they? You just do them in front of the TV. But I think, definitely sort of going for the strength side of things is good.
Yeah.
Why? Now, I haven't got anything for why, and you haven't got anything for why.
Yellow is a song that I listen to by Coldplay when I'm out on endurance rides.
Yeah.
Yawn is what I do when I'm tired on endurance rides. Sorry, this is going a bit crazy. Zed. Zebra crossings are a great opportunity to stop and eat. Yeah, I think we've covered the A to Zs in a very roundabout and unusual kind of way, but we've done it.
We have done it, Steve.
Yeah.
A little bit tenuous at times, but...
It's nothing tenuous. It's all good information.
Yeah. Good to know what other people's A to Zs are as well.
Yeah. Maybe, what your Zs are and what your Xs are.
Your Ys.
And your Ys. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Going Along with Cycling Weekly. We will see you again next week.